Oh, that was interesting. I had to accept your recording.
Mhm. Okay. So this interview, I'm interviewing Rob Hardy, who's a pitching slash recruiting coordinator at Gardner Webb. I'm gonna be asking some questions, and my name's Kevin Pauly. So we'll go to the first question, which is, uh, what made you get into baseball in the first place?
Well, let me turn that question on you, KP. What do you mean by that? Baseball is in coaching or playing?
Just yeah. Let's get to the playing first. What made you get into baseball playing first?
I don't exactly remember like the situation that got me into like, all right, this is everything that I wanted to do.
Mhm.
As far as playing is concerned, I just remember when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I was out, local little league, whatever youth baseball organization we were playing for, and at the time, just like every other kid, I was doing multiple sports, multiple different activities. One of those activities was BMX, like racing bikes without motors,
Yeah, that's
which
cool.
is a lot of fun.
Yeah, really fun.
Uh, and well, one day I went to like I was playing baseball and uh, I like hyperextended my knee and I couldn't go to the racetrack later that day. And I was like,
Okay.
man, that stinks. Like, oh well, and move on. But then later in the year, I went to the racetrack and ended up getting pretty hurt, like pretty banged up, fell during a race or something like that, and I couldn't go to the baseball field and like practice, and that kind of was like way more devastating than not being able to race. And I'm like 8 or 9 years old, so I guess like at that point in time, I knew I wanted to play baseball.
Yeah.
Um, just like every other kid, though, I didn't hang up everything else. I just kept playing multiple different sports throughout, just less racing, more baseball, less anything else, and more on the baseball side. And then my freshman year of high school, I was trying out for the varsity hockey team as well as trying out for the varsity baseball team, and I ended up getting really hurt playing hockey, and that cost me the tryout for the baseball team. So like I didn't make the varsity baseball team. I would have made the varsity hockey team, which is kind of funny. But went into the boards with a good friend of mine. My shin guard got caught on the ice and turned. When I went into the boards, it was kneecap first with no protection, and ended up cracking my kneecap straight down the middle.
Damn.
So took me out of baseball for the entire year. Well, not the entire year, but outside of tryouts. So at that point in time, that's when I was like, well, I want to play at the highest level that I possibly can.
Hmm.
And if I'm doing all this other stuff, because I had no true sense of self and like self
Yeah.
protection, I was the stupid kid that tried to get hurt all the dang
Do you have
time.
any siblings or no?
Yeah, younger brother. He's
Okay.
3 years younger. He
Gotcha.
is not a little brother though. He's much bigger than I am.
The younger brothers are always bigger than the older brothers.
Yeah, it's stupid, stupid.
Yeah.
Especially with you. You're what, the baby of the family?
Yeah. Baby of three.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah.
But that's the start of me like the playing side, absolutely loving
Yeah.
what I was doing.
Yeah. Look where you're at now. So worked out well.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. The next question. You are very big in numbers and data side for baseball now. How has that part affected your recruiting process for players, and how has that like changed baseball in general for you?
Oh, baseball has changed dramatically because there's no more subjective decision making. I mean, there's like personality traits, making sure that an individual fits the mold of the team, the culture of the program that you're bringing them into. But when it comes to like performance based statistics or performance based numbers or performance based ball flight data, like those are objective. Like there's no two if ands or buts about it. Like your spin rate's this, your fastball's this, your
Yeah.
changeup's this. Like there's we're not trying to guess like, oh, that pitch is really good because of this, this, or this. Like
Yeah.
it's no longer a part of the process. So, you know, for example, this past summer when we recruited our five arms in the high school class,
Yeah.
we got them all from a couple of different events, but every one of those events had TrackMan at the wherever they were playing. Um, so instead of standing like behind home plate on the field level, like I was up in the booth, like watching the TrackMan data, seeing like what is unique, why is it unique. I had my own data set out and like put those individuals in, and like, all right, I think his extension is what's making him get like be really successful today. What is it in percentile based on like Division 1 average? And I'm able to just plug that in immediately and like, okay, this guy's super unique because of that. Like we're gonna try to recruit him from that. So like the decision making has become, I'm gonna say, easier. It has become much harder to find individuals that are going to come in and like create a team culture, create or be a part of
Yeah.
something that has already been there. That is the more difficult part.
Is like the data like the numbers in the data like more important than like looking at like a picture in person? Or do you,
No,
okay.
I think the numbers and the data make you say yes to them,
Okay.
but getting to know them as a human, getting to know them as a person, as
Gotcha.
more than just a velocity, as more than just a,
Yeah.
a guy that can go get outs, and like find out what makes them tick is far more important than
Yeah.
anything.
Sweet. That makes sense. All right. Third question. You played at junior college, and I also played at junior college, and I bet we had somewhat of the same experience. So, how was your experience at the junior college level?
JUCO bandits, brother. That's what we are.
Exactly. Yep. Erickson.
Um,
Erickson.
yeah, like Eric Sim, man. That I don't know. It's interesting because I've seen through my time as a coach, like I've seen the extensive variety in junior college there is. Like if you go play junior college baseball in Texas, like it's not junior college baseball. You're arguably playing Division 1 baseball.
Yep.
The equipment, apparel, the time, the this, the that, like there's too much that goes into that. And that's not a knock on that junior college level. Like they're fortunate enough to be able to do that. Like that's awesome for them, and like they should be honored that they can do that. But at Herkimer, it's like, man, I was pulling weeds before games. Like we were the ones putting up the batter's eye. Like we had to take our own batter's eye down
Yep.
after practice, before practice.
Yeah.
Um, like we were the ones that did all of the field work, and like we were the ones that were like building that program. We put our hitting facility together, like built our hitting facility, like as a
I
team.
remember like myself putting in the slats in the outfield fence.
Yes,
That shit
exactly.
sucked. That was
Like
awful.
we're the ones that had to roll up. We had a windscreen, so like we had to roll up the windscreen and like
Yep.
zip tie it in the middle of the winter. Like we had to winterize our own field, pull the tarp, everything. We were mowing our own field. It was insane. So the experience that we had at the junior college level is as blue collar, hard nosed, like not meant for
Yeah.
anybody other than a certain individual. If you can't make it there, you're not going to make it. Like if you can't make it there, then it's going to be really hard for you to make it anywhere else because
Yep.
you find out who you are. Like
Exactly. I mean,
I
like,
sucked out of high school. I was not a good baseball player out of high school,
yeah. Yep.
and I found out like how good I could be through being there. And like the conversations you have at the junior college level are far like there's a lot less red tape around it. Like if if JC, for example, told anybody what my junior college coach told me, get fired.
Yeah.
Like he like I'm not gonna even beat around the bush. Like that's probably the case. But my
Exactly.
junior college coach told me that through our conversation, and like I didn't get scared off. Like it was time to work now. Like okay, this is what he thinks. Well, I'm gonna prove him wrong, and like that's the way I operated. So like that was kind of my experience.
Yeah, it almost sounded like it was like a stepping stone for yourself for
Yeah, it, I needed a stepping stone because I wasn't good enough to go anywhere else.
yep.
But at the same time, it was a it was a kick in the butt as well. Like like without those conversations from Coach Raz at those exact times, like I would not be where I am right now. I would not be who I am right now. There would be probably a lot more of a difference in me. Like I wouldn't have found out what I'm actually capable of.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Um, I'm gonna skip a few questions. All right. So you just had your first son, and
Oh yeah.
it's awesome. So what's it like being a father now?
um, long days and long nights. I didn't know that they could both be long. But no, it's unbelievable. Your dad probably says it. Your mom probably says it. I was told it multiple times. Like you'll never have a love like you have for your child.
Yeah.
And I never. I was like, oh yeah, like that. It makes sense, right? Like you're bringing something into the world that's yours, literally yours. You can't have anything more yours than a child. So it makes sense that like you bring them into the world and you're gonna love them more than anything else possible. But everybody says it and it makes sense, and you never understand what it means. Like I never got it, I never understood it.
Hmm.
Um, but like there's a new meaning behind like I will do anything for my son. I
Yeah.
will do anything for my family. There's
That's every father's thing.
yeah, and like that means making hard choices. That means making hard decisions. That means
Yeah.
doing a bunch of things that you never thought you would before, and now you are, and you're just like, well, we got to do this, and like it just is what it is. And it's all in the lens of like, I'm gonna make sure that Hudson gets everything he could possibly need every single day, and I don't ever want to have a point in time where I'm looking him in the eyes like he's asking for something and I can't provide it for
Yeah.
him. I might tell him no because we just don't need it, but I don't want to say no because I can't provide it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, we've already hit our 12-minute mark, but I liked um how like the numbers in the side of baseball has changed, like the recruiting process. I liked how your junior college experience went because I can like relate to that because it was literally a stepping stone for myself and you. Then
Of course.
being a father, like it changes your whole perspective of life. You have to make really hard decisions, a lot of decisions. It's like never ending, and
Never.
you never know. You might have another baby. It you might have three other sons. You never know, but
Well, hopefully I have another son, but maybe after that we just call it a day. You know what I mean?
yeah. All right. I think that wraps up our interview. So,
Hey, I appreciate you, KP.
yep, no problem. Have happy Thanksgiving.
Same with you. Tell your parents I said hello.
We'll do. We'll do. All right.
All
Thank
right?
you.
You got it. Take care.
You as well.